We see a dark-haired man crying as he looks at his phone. A girl texts him. She says, "Chen Yuan, let's break up." His fingers move in seconds as he responds, "What's wrong, Tong Tong?" DA, is he playing truth or dare with his roommate? Don't be like this. He takes their relationship very seriously. He sticker, which is a funny drawing of man with his hands on his head. He also sends another text saying that is there something he hasn't done well? But he's already been planning their future. In the future, they will have a happy family, 2 lovely children, their own car and house. He will work hard to make all of this come true. He sends another message that reads error. It reads, did he not buy the magical water she wanted? If that's the case, he apologizes, but he's been saving money recently, and when next month's living expenses come in, he can bet it for her. A notification pops up. It reads, Tong Tong has enabled friend verification. You are not yet their friend, please send a friend verification request. 1 verified, you can chat and send friend requests. The guy on the phone mutters that he is feeling hopeless about life. Another guy in the room raises his hand in the air angrily and says that Yuan Ji is playing an online game and needs 1 more player. Is he coming? When he notices the mood of the first guy, he walks out of the room saying, "Sorry for bothering you." The first guy starts smashing things in his room. Outside the room sit 2 other guys. One guy asks if this is another breakup, and the second guy replies that the 6th time this month. Next, we see a pretty girl walking on a road that is lit up with street lights. Passers-by say, "This Chen Yuan, right? The infamous licking dog." Yes, yes, yes. He's been licking Lin Shutong from their class for the last 3 years. The girl in question is Lin and remembers how Chen acted in school. On that day, she stood apprehensively as she said to him, he should not like this. Everyone is watching. He scratches his head as he calls her last and says that she knows he's mad at gum. He bought her favorite dish, guabao. She should forgive him, please. She should not bring up the breakup again. He'll change whatever's not good about him. Their classmates notice the exchange and laugh among themselves. One says that he heard he took on for part-time jobs just to buy that gift. Another says, what's the use? He still got dumped. Lin averts her eyes and says that she's not angry. Her ex-boyfriend came to reconcile with her. After thinking about it, she feels like he needs her more. Chen explodes and says Huang Zhengkai? Then what is he? Our guy calls her ex name and asks her if she forgot he cheated on her. And he even made her catch him in the act. A car pulls up beside them and a blonde guy who is the ex tells Lin to get in. As she walks to the car, she calls our main male's name and tells him that they should not meet again. She's afraid her boyfriend will misunderstand. She gets in and the car drives away, leaving a crestfallen Chen. Later we see him in a restaurant. He drinks to his fill as he thinks, why is it that genuine feelings are always betrayed? Does he really have to be a licking dog for his whole life? What's wrong with being your own person? He gnashing his teeth in anger as he thinks that as long as he lives from now on, he will not be licking dog anymore but will be Sea King. Ding dong. The most unique system has detected a match hosting initiated. System activation successful. Next, we see an entry which says name, Chen Yuan, personal wealth, 230 Huaxia, currency unit. Enhancement points, 1, your profit amount, 90 trillion Huaxia. He thinks lick dog system? My cheat? But what is this cheat used for? A new voice drags him out of his head, it's a girl. She says hello, has he seen enough of her? And she calls him names. He reddens. She says that just now, he's been staring at her, and it feels unconformable on the right side. A yellow square pops up with her details. It reads name, Shu Lele. Age, 21 years old. Height, 165 centimeters, weight, 49 kilograms. Looks 7.9 points. Affection level toward the host, 50 points. Another yellow box pops up. It reads, however, with the assistance of the system, if the affection level of this girl towards the host exceeds 95 points, The counterattack is successful, and her status transforms into a top-tier master's devoted fan. A yellow box pops up. It reads that with the help of the licking dog system, if the affection level of this girl towards the host exceeds 95 points, the counterattack is successful, and the identity transforms into the host's licking dog. He thinks to himself using the system. So is that licking dog money meant to be spent on women? 9 trillion? Another box pops and it reads, indeed, 9 trillion licking dog coins have been deposited into this card, but it can only be used by women. We see a digital car underneath the text. A new box says that when the other party becomes the host licking dog, 1/10 of the expenditure will be awarded to the host's account, becoming the host's private property. At the same time, other rewards can also be obtained. He thinks that in that case, let try on this girl in front of me. He walks up to a blonde girl and calls her beautiful. She shouldn't be angry. He'll cover her expenses today. A bow shows licking dog relationship successfully bound. Any box reads, Mission Counterattack Shulele. Mission complete reward, 10%, licking dog coins, 5 enhancement points. Enhancement points can enhance host's physical attributes, including constitution, spirit, strength, agility, etc. Shu says hey, flaunting wealth. Trying to flirt with her? Does he have that ability? Is this Shulele, the art department's beauty? They heard she's quite formidable, once making a man spend 30,000 with just 3 sentences. The guy seems to be in for a rough time. Our guy says that does he have the ability? Try and she'll know, right? Shu says so today, she wants to treat all the friends in the convenience store to snacks. Can he help her with the money? Shu thinks that wearing cheap clothes and still trying to flirt? She'll let him know what embarrassment is. The girl's phone dings with a message which reads Alipay received, 50,000. Transferring 50,000 without hesitation. Isn't that just treating money as if it's nothing? This guy, who looks like a homeless, is actually a hidden rich generation? He says that is 50,000 enough, then he raises his phone and asks her if he can add her on WeChat. She thinks to herself if she is blind. Is this guy a rich second generation? Since it's like this. She smirks and tells him not to be in a hurry, adding WeChat is also possible. She steps to him with their breathe inches apart as she says, but he has to go somewhere with her. She thinks that watch how she ruthlessly takes advantage of him. Next we see a busy crowd in front of a company building. She walks into the store while saying just to clarify, she's not a gold digger. She just wants to see his sincerity and attitude. He thinks, good, this is off intense. He says no problem, pick whatever she likes. He thinks to himself that his appetite of being stuffed to death. Perfect timing to use her as an experiment for the licking dog system. A familiar voice catches his attention. It is Lin, she said, Brother Junkai. What does he think about this bag? Does it look good on her? Chen turns to see his ex with her new lover. Our hero is flabbergasted by what he sees. Shu comes back to his side and says ex-girlfriend? Looks like she arrived at the wrong time. He smiles and tells her no, she arrived at the perfect time. She says to a shop attendant that does she still have the spring collection bag in his store? The attendant says that it's only one left. The attendant gestures toward Lin and says, but that lady over there is currently trying it. Lin thinks to herself if the main guy is still haunting them. Well, let her show him the difference between a loser and Brother Junkai. Lin holds out a bag in front of her ex and says, Brother Junkai, someone's birthday is coming up. Junkai says, birthday? Didn't they just celebrate her birthday? She argues that was the lunar birthday, she still has the solar birthday. He glares at her and says, listen Shutong, she knows that he doesn't like girls who are materialistic. She didn't get together with him because of money, right? She looks taken aback by his words. Shu comes to the duo and snatches the bag from Lin and says sorry, she'll take this bag if she doesn't buy it. A box pops up and it reads Shulele's favorability plus 60. She pays for the bag via card and giggles in excitement. Our guy counts the points and smiles when he has the total. He thinks, this is the power of money, one bag increased by 60 points. rate, buying a few more bags and shoelace will reach the threshold. But the amount of cashback is too little. People say Xiaoli, he doesn't understand, why do some people who look like rich second generations pinch pennies with their girlfriends, while others who seem ordinary spend tens of thousands without blinking an eye? So the manager taught them not to judge people with colored glasses. Spending power should not be judged solely by appearance. Xu says that indeed, bags are like boyfriends, the ones you snatch are the best to use. She thinks that she must seize the big fish. She hugs Chen and says thank you, husband. Husband is so good. Lin breaks into tears and calls his full name and says that he's gone too far. He thinks too much? Lin Shutong, they have a long way to go. A yellow box pops up and it reads Binding Licking Dog Relationship 2. Another pops up and it reads, Name, Lin Shutong. Age 21. Height 163 meters. Weight, 49 kilograms. Looks 7.5 points. Favorability of this girl towards the host, 10 points. A new box pops and it reads when the favorability exceeds 95 points, the counterattack is successful, and the identity transforms into the host's licking dog. Reward for successful counterattack, 10% licking dog coins, 20 enhancement points. Xu says satisfied now? Where should they go next? Where to? He says of course, they should continue shopping. No way, she's not satisfied with just buying one bag, is she? Our guy, Chen points at clothes and says from there, then he points at bags and says to here. He says expect for those 2 items, she should pack up everything else. Swipe the card. He gives her his card. The attendant says certainly sir. They will deliver the items to the address she approved shortly. A box pops up and reads Shuleilei's favorability +5. This same box pops up 3 more times. Xu says it enough? Buying more won't fit in her mountain of bags. He says can't fit? It's okay, he'll buy her a house. The news rocks her to the core as she says this isn't good. He's already spent a lot of money. It's their first meeting, and he's so extravagant. She was just joking. A pop appears and reads Shuleilei's favorability +5. He thinks if he did scare her. Indeed, offering millions for a house causally, he'd feel uneasy too. He tells her Shuleilei, a junior in the art college, 21 years old this year, 165 centimeters tall, 49 kilograms, favorite color is black. Who loves Korean cuisine? Capricorn zodiac sign, shoe size is 37, enjoys watching horror movies, but is most afraid of walking alone at night. If he didn't really like her, why would he be so impulsive? He turns to the attendant and says, Miss, does she have a membership card? He'll top up 5,000. In the future, when his young lady comes to her store, just recommend the latest styles directly to her. The attendant smiles and says certainly, sir please wait. He says that if he is scared, she should just give him now and he will give her a gift. Xu reddens at his raw actions. He tells that if she feels guilty, offering herself is enough. She says he should stop talking and calls him a playful name. A pop-up reads Shuleilei's favorability +30. The attendants whisper to one another. One says that this guy, who doesn't stand out in appearance, is surprisingly generous. Another says that not only generous but also considerate of the girl's feelings. They are in love. He thinks that indeed, when it comes to flirting, the effect is completely different between a wealthy person and a loser. She tears up as she tells him that he bought her so much. Doesn't he want to buy something for himself? He says that he doesn't have money. She says oh, she sees then now it's her turn to give him a gift. She grabs his hand and thinks that if she wants to catch a big fish with a long line, she can't just demand. She also needs to give appropriately. In the shiny city we see she buying clothes for our hero. Then she gets him a haircut. The outcome makes him look more handsome than he already is. It causes Xu's favorability to rise by 5 points. She thinks that this guy, after dressing up, is unexpectedly handsome. Her favorability raises by 10 points. He dons green jogger and a navy blue shirt. He blushes and scratches the back of his neck as he asks, "How is it? Does it seem strange?" He thinks that this is the first time in his life that he has to take care of himself like this. Fortunately, he doesn't need to spend any money. She inches closer to him and uses her fingertip to raise his head. She says that not strange at all. She just feels that he and her are a perfect match now. She says that she's very happy today. "Thanks, Brother Yuan." There were several moments where she felt like he was in love. "Goodbye, Brother Yuan." She blows him a kiss and carries her bags and walks away. A box pops and reads that current favorability with Xu Lele, 68. Our guy walks in though his home and says that he's back. His roommates gasps in surprise at his look. One says, "Oh my Brother Yuan, what did he do all day? And what's with all this?" He says that he went on a date with Xu Lele. Come on, if he can't handle Lin Shutong, he still wants to pursue Xu Lele? The second guy in the room adjusts his glasses as he sits up in his chair and says that Xu Lele is the beauty of the art department. Brother 4, even if he gets dumped, he needs to know his limits. Their guy throws his hand around Chen's shoulder and says he should listen to his advice. He can't control these women. He says that he really appreciates him. His phone beeps with a text from Lin. It reads that if he really dislikes her, they should unfriend each other. He thinks if she is trying to mess with his emotions? If they unfriend each other, where'd he go to boost his favorability? He counting on her to level up and make money. He replies dislike? How could that be? In his heart, she's always special. She says that being with Huang Junkai is not because she's greedy for vanity, but because her mom is sick and needs 50,000 for medical expenses. He transfers the money to her in seconds. Lin screams at her phone in surprise. She says that she just said it casually and he actually transferred money. Girl behind her in a sheet mask asks who's so generous to send a transfer of 50,000, is it Brother Junkai? Lin says no way, it's not Junkai. He wouldn't even buy her a bag. It's Chen Yuan sent it. The girl echoes his name and asks if Lin just broke up with his today. Her friend thinks in amazement that this average guy is actually so rich. Lin thinks if she did really misjudge? She has to clarify. A yellow box pops up and it reads Lin Shu's favorability +5. Lin texts Chen, she calls his full name and asks what does he mean. Where'd he get so much money, even at the mall today? What's his relationship with Xu Lele? Did he buy her a bag? You're not some hidden rich second generation, is he? She sends 2 cute stickers begging for attention and then she sends love disappears, right? She later texts asking if he doesn't reply to the message. Has he slept? He thinks that Lin Shutong is too witty. He can't be too hasty with Xu Lele. Is there anywhere legal to extravagantly spend money on women? He searches his phone and settles on a shark-shaped app which is blue and wit. He thinks that the way he can also try it on the live broadcast platform. The app says that there's only 1 hour left before Xiaomia goes off the air. Brothers who want to send gifts should hurry up. He thinks that over 1 million, spending this money is much faster than buying bags. He's come to the right place. The app dings out that thanks to Lonely Cigarette Brother for the rocket. Love you. The girl on the live video is surprised to see 100 times cigarette. Other users of the app and the girl on the live stream say 100 rockets. That's 1 million. He notices the inflow of messages from the other users trying to outshine him and he thinks that they are truly underestimating him. He says that let him give them a little more monetary shock. He sends 900 more cigarettes. In the company of the app, a worker says to the booze that something big just happened. The worker barges into the office and says that an unidentified tycoon just spent 10 million in Xiaomia's channel at once. The boss does a spit take with a reddened face. He asks, isn't that their guy? He thinks to himself, 10 million? Is he laundering money? In Streamers' lounge, we see different girls dressed seductively and talking among themselves. Hurry, hurry, she'd named Lonely Cigarette, an extraordinary tycoon. Quickly send him a private message. This person just spent 10 million in Xiaomia's channel. Even if he casually spends some, it's enough for a few months of their salary. Meanwhile, our male lead has his phone disturbed by numerous messages. Thinks to herself if she is not dreaming. Did someone just spend 10 million on her? She covers her face as her cheeks redden. A picture shows a man holding a ply card which reads "The boss said, make sure to secure lonely cigarette." Her commission increases by 10%. She sighs and thinks that no need for him to say, with such a big benefactor. How could she let him go to other streamers? She says on camera that thanks for the rocket brother, lonely cigarette brother, can he send her a private message? She'll give him a moderator role. On his private chat with Xiaomia, a warning shows. It reads not to easily trust strangers on the internet. And do not send your contact information, photos, and videos to strangers. If you encounter a problem, please report it as soon as possible or seek help from friends and family around you. She types on the chat asking if Chen Yuan is still there and she has 5 minutes left to broadcast. That she sent him a private message and he should please reply to the private message. Truly, he had slept off. The next day on the search history of someone's phone, the top of the list is a mysterious rich man appears as a shark and offers a crazy reward of 10 million in half an hour. His identity remains a mystery. Someone says that second, third brother. Quickly check the hot search, there's a tycoon who spent 10 million on Shark Live app in half an hour last night. The guy on glasses from before says that really rich man in his hometown. A guy with a brown comb over says Lao Cow, he really dares to dream. He'd laugh himself awake if he had just 1 million. He thinks to himself tart he spent so much money yesterday. And Xiaomia didn't even bind the relationship. A pop-up reads licking dog relationship binding list, Shu Lele, Lin Shutong. He thinks that could it be that the relationship binding must happen in person in real life? Did he waste this money then? He opens the app and sees he has new messages from different girls. He wonders, dang, so many private messages, did he stir a hornet's nest? He notices his roommate shouting super exciting. Hurry, hurry, it's late, there won't be any good spots left. He asks them what are these three up to, why didn't they take him? One of the roommates says that of course, they're going to class. Today is a general course. They can appreciate the goddess Zhao Yuqi up close. The one with glasses says that he takes too much time to get ready for class. If they took him with them for class, they would arrive after class. The comb-over dude says stop blabbering, is he not coming or not? Hurry up. Our guy thinks to himself that Zhao Yuqi? We see brown buildings on a green lawn in the morning sunlight. We see a female brunette reading a book. This is Zhao Yuqi, the campus flower and vice president of the student union at Lake University. Is the dream of every male student. In 10th grade in piano, chief of the ballet troupe, 2nd level. Her outstanding talents combined with her high beauty make her difficult to approach. At Lake University, there is a beauty unique and independent. This solitary peak has been unattainable for 3 years. The crowd of girls stare longing at our main guy. They whisper among themselves that who he is? Is he from another department? They haven't seen him before, he's so handsome. He thinks to himself that since she's so hard to pursue, she must bring in a lot of money in returns, right? One of the girls in the class look at him and says to her friend beside her, huh? Isn't that Chen Yuan? He looks so handsome after a few days of not seeing him. Did he dress up on purpose for her, Shutong? The friend speaking happens to sit beside Lin. Lin says maybe she guesses, but she has Junkai, oh her heart is so confused. What if they start fighting? She reddens at the thought of the two boys pinning over her. A box pops up and it reads Lin Shutong favorability +10. The same box pops 2 more times making it 30 points in total. Chen smirks evilly as he glances at her. He thinks that damn, just changing clothes increases favorability. What a superficial woman. Speaking of which, how does he bind Zhao Yuqi? A voice saying come on, boss. They should go and see how Zhao Goodis falls for him. He turns to see guys chanting for a particular guy. The guy in their middle says they should watch, see how he makes her infatuated with him. Next, we see the Zhao and the guy of before talking. He gestures for her and calls her a sweet name before telling her to add him on WeChat. Our hero glares at him and asks him angrily what is he trying to do. The second guy ignores Chen and says that she should just add him on WeChat, they should get together and know each other and be friends. A girl grabs the second guy by his collar and asks if he is looking for trouble. What's he scheming against our Yuchi? This girl happens to be our Zhao's roommate. The guy breaks a sweat and says it's a misunderstanding. He just wanted to join the student union and Zhao is the vice president, so he wanted to inquire. The girl says that she sees he hasn't held in that fart. Can't he come up with a better excuse for picking up girl? He should scram. He runs away crying. She goes on to say that TSK, so timid and slick, a toad wanting to eat swan meat. Zhao tries to calm down her roommate who argues that the guy made her very angry. Chen approaches them and says classmate Yuchi, he also wants to add her on WeChat. The roommate curses in her head and thinks another one, will it ever end? Our guy holds up his phone to her and asks with an easygoing smile, if it is okay? The classmates talk among themselves. One asks what's happening today, so much fun. Another one says that this guy is really brave, he's practically offering his face to be stepped on. A third says who gave the chubby guy the courage? The roommate reddens as she says hey, even more handsome than the last one. What's up? Does he also want to join the student union? Our main guy smiles and says that he's not interested in the student union. The roommate frowns and says then why does he want Yuchi's WeChat? He says isn't it obvious? He wants to pursue her. All members of the class turn to look at him in disbelief. Someone says that he can't believe it. And he really asked her to add on WeChat. Just watch, he's also so confident now, but he'll be crying miserably later. Zhao blushes and say all right. The girl beside Lin asks her if Chen Yuan her pursuer? Is there something going on between the two of them? He thinks to himself that the desire to be beautiful is inherent in everyone, so why hide it? Sometimes, the simplest approach is the most effective. As long as she's a woman, who doesn't like being pursued? Men burst into tears in the background as they watch the exchange. A box pops up and it reads successfully bound licking dog relationship. Another reads binding target, Zhao Yuchi. He thinks to himself this trip was finally not in vain. His roommates tell him that he did great today. He actually got Zhao Yuchi's weak heart. Yeah, he's changed a lot recently, like a person but still a dog. One throws his hands around his shoulder and says Yuanzi, if he manages to win Zhao Yuchi, can he introduce some sisters to them? Chen says well, it's just wishful thinking. She's the campus flower and he's just him. These guys are exaggerating. The guy who was pursuing Zhao approaches them and says, Humph, at least Chen as a loser should know his place. The guy tells him that he's got some sense. Our guy tells them that indeed, willingly accepting humiliation is their expertise. He'll learn from them in the future. His roommates say that is Lao Sai being so arrogant trying to start a fight? One roommate says he thinks so. While the last roommate asks if he is trying to start a group fight. The main opponent reaches for him but is held back by a friend. He says that our guy should say one more thing. He's just a bling cat bumping into a dead mouse. What is he proud of? Our guy TSKS and turns his head to the side while saying so childish. Next we see Shu who says brother Yuan, he's so slow. She has been waiting for him for a long time. All the guys drop their jaws as they realize that darn it, Shu Lele from the art college, ranked 6th on the campus beauty list, nickname, straight guy slayer. Chen says that he really should die for making a beauty wait for him for so long. Give him a chance to make it up to her. Bu inviting her to dinner. Shu grins and says brother Yuan, does he think her outfit looks good? It's all thanks to him buying it for her. He says that clothes aren't the only things that can look good. This bag she's carrying looks the best on her. She says really, she takes it seriously. He tells her of course, even more real than real gold. Her out of the campus. Zhao's pursuer cries and he says that he doesn't understand what is lacking. He hears crying and turns to see Lin crying. She says that she doesn't understand where she's lacking. Darn it, who is it? Feeling more wronger than her? Why would she? Clearly, she was here first. What does she think she is? Sunrise kisses the buildings on campus. Shu shows our main guy a drawing of himself and says, "Brother Yuan, this is a gift for him." She says that she's been up all night to draw this. If he dares to casually throw it away, she won't spare him. He thinks that this is the first time in his life that he's received a gift from a girl. She asks him does he like it? He wonders if this is a bait that she's prepared for him. From the moment he spent money on her, she planned how to trap him. Unfortunately, he's not the same person he used to be. Shu thinks that he doesn't seem too happy. Does he not like this gift? He asks her why did she give him this? She laughs slight as she breaks a sweat and says that she stayed up all night to draw it. Doesn't he like it? He says that if doesn't receive such a good gift in the future, how will she be responsible to him? He says it as he moves closer to her. She blushes and calls him a name and a bad guy. That he scared her and he should give her back her drawing. He moves away and says that he's not giving it. He wasn't to keep it as a family heirloom. Gotcha. He tells her that compared to her gift, she definitely prefers her more. Her face gets redder at his words as she thinks, darn, he's good at flirting. A yellow box pops up and it reads Shuleilei's favorability +5. He thinks that she wants to tease him. She should be a good tool for him to earn money. A guy with purple eyes, brown hair and wearing circular glasses interrupts them by shouting her name. He says that Shu said she was doing her nails with her best friend. Who is this guy? Purple Eye says that doing nails until she's hugging each other, she's really something. He points at our male lead and says that he must be really rich, huh? For her to even be hugging. He's been pursuing her for so long, and she won't even let him touch her hand. Chen thinks to himself that this unlucky guy seems to be a lapdog for Shuleilei. He's too familiar with this kind of temperament. Shu asks the guy what is he to her? Her frown is deep and her crows are crossed as her face is reddened with annoyance. What does her dating life have to do with him? Chen walks in between the two shouting people and says to Purple Eyes "Tha hello, this classmate. He is Chen Yuan. What's his and how long has he been pursuing Shuleilei? Shu wonders, oh, what's going on? Purple Eye says that he is Wang Yu, from the School of Arts. He's been pursuing Shuleilei for half a year. Chen thinks that Wan is a lost boy who lost his footing. Our says that he also once chased a girl for 3 years, worked for part-time jobs, had to eat plain steamed but with pickled vegetables every day, but in the end, she chose to ride in someone else's car. Wang thinks that how could it be so heartless? Chen continues to says that so he knows those who betray us will become their motivation to strive for self-improvement. He places his hand on Wang's shoulder and says why worry about not having a wife when he's a great man? He should go back to the dorm and forget about her, work hard, achieve success and let her regret her choices. Wan thinks that rest assured brother, he will become strong and he'll earn a lot of money. Shu thinks what going on? Wayne Yu is crying? She's Sazi brother Chen, he's just a regular friend of hers. She didn't expect. He cuts her off by saying her name and that he doesn't care about her past. But he feels that she doesn't respect him and herself. He tears her drawing in pieces and tells her that she can continue to use yesterday's card, but until she handles her interpersonal relationships, they should not meet. Then he walks away and she reaches out to him. He thinks to himself how will she respond to this strategy of tempting her to capture Lele? He's looking forward to it. For the first time, someone has so understanding of him. Shu breaks into tears as she says that he genuinely likes her but she messed it and continues to cry. A box pops up and it reads Lele favorability +5. He thinks that it seems that women really can't be too complacent, it's good to tease them from time to time. He's grown again. Lele has been pushed, it's time to switch to Zhao Yuqi. He looks at his phone as he gets a notification. He thinks that Zhao Yuqi is live streaming too. Is she also a streamer? On her live, Zhao says hello everyone, she's Chichi. She's a trainee with a live broadcast duration of 2.5 days. Her specialties are singing and dancing, as well as playing the piano. Please, they should take care of her. He thinks that is President Zhao unexpectedly cute? Cute it be that she's the type who appears cold on the outside but is warm on the inside? There are so few people watching? That's not right. Then he gets message from a girl. It reads, "Wow, brother Yang, he's online now. Brother, give her a hug." He stares at the message in confusion, wondering who this girl is. He texts back, "Who is she?" She replies that woo QAQ brother, he just sent her a bunch of rockets yesterday. Doesn't he remember her? He texts back that haha, he's just teasing her, does she have some free time lately? They should meet. She replies, woo brother, her schedule is full lately. He texts, oh, forget it. She replies, brother Yang, he shouldn't be upset. Xiaomi will dance just for him. He thinks that she's trying to trick him into sending gifts. He's spent real gold and silver, 10 million, and haven't received a binding confirmation. He might as well give the money directly to President Zhao. On his phone, he gets a notification that reads, Anchor, he will follow is currently competing. Come and cheer-door her. Kiki cute little girl. Zhao's roommate tells Zhao that Chichi, someone is challenging you to a park. She hopes it's not some big influencer. Chen thinks that President Zhao is going to PK. This will be interesting to watch. He smiled at the scene. PK stands for player kill, refer to a competition or showdown between players. Blonde girl on lives pops on his phone and says, hey, congratulations. What kind of new girl did he match with? Hope he has some great time together. He says that these two actually got matched together. It's really a stranger fate. He thinks that not until the end, it's hard to predict the outcome. The blonde girl says that Zhao should take a break. Even if her fingers get tired, she has brother Yang, a big spender, as her backing. The notifications are filled with questions about Yang being the spender. Xiaomi believes that with her skills, she's sure this brother Yang I already completely impressed. She poses seductively on the live and says, brother Yang is here. Thank you brother Yang, and she blows kisses. Next, someone by the username Lonely Cigarette sends many rockets to President Zhao. Xiaomi says that it's impossible. Zhao's friend says 1,000 rockets. They are rich. Xiaomi thinks that it's not her. Her doorbell rings and she gets a message that the booze is calling and she needs to explain what just happened. The host is lost. Chen thinks that if he can give her gifts, or give them to others, she's shamelessly selling smiles. Does she also want to control him? President Zhao, he's invested a lot. She should not let him down. Some in the app's company shouts, boss, something bug has happened again. That lonely cigarette again. The boss echoes, another 10 million spent. Is this guy some Middle Eastern oil prince? In Streamers Lounge, the girls talk among themselves. One says that the wealthy brother donated 10 million in a live stream where someone was playing the piano. Could it be that brother Yang likes music today? Another says, Xiao Li, quickly bring her triangular needle. Xiao Li and mine, bring her Swana too. Chichi, look quickly, her live stream today is trending. On the internet, the live stream was the number search topic. President Zhao's friend says she's going viral. She's going to become an internet sensation. Zhao says internet sensation? HMPH, seeking attention from men online is not a long-term plan. The most important thing for a woman is to have a career. Both economically and personally, you need to be independent. Understood? The friend says all right, she shouldn't lecture her. Then wait, she leans in to whisper to Zhao, she should tell the truth. Does she know that wealthy guy who keeps showering her with gifts? Zhao turns away dismissively and says that she has said it so many times, she doesn't know him. She believes it or not, it's up to her. The friend says all right, she shouldn't be angry. She's just really curious. Zhao says that but he's sent so many gifts, out of courtesy, she should send him a private message to thank him. The friend wonders who was it just now saying that attention sealing from men is not a longer-term plan? Saying one thing and doing another. Next Zhao screams, and the friend turns to look at her and asks what's wrong? Zhao tells her friend, who we now know as Xiao, Xiao Fei that she might really know this wealthy guy. She thinks so. On her phone these are the details of the man who sent her the 1,000 rockets. Chen Yuan. Nickname, Lonely Cigarette. WeChat number, Garia. He is the son of a business tycoon raised in luxury from a young age. However, he has a low-key nature and always pretend to live as an ordinary person. Having received an elite education, he grew tired of being looked up to by others and just wanted to live freely. One day, he met the girl he loved and decided to courageously pursue her, living as an ordinary person. Zhao says it must be like that, there's no doubt. Xiao asks has she been reading too many CEO novels? Zhao says that he's always lived in luxury since childhood, pretending to be an ordinary person must be difficult. Xiao says that it's time to sleep. Zhao argues that no, she has to sincerely thank him. Our guy comes out of the shower and hears a notification on his phone. He sees that Zhao Yuqi sent him a message. She texts that is he free these 2 days. He replies that based on what she said, Chairman Zhao invites him to invite her and he's available at any time. She asks hope he eats and will enjoy it. He says that they should go and eat crayfish, he liked this the most. She replies that okay and she will see him at the school gate at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. He thinks that she didn't even ask where the money to send gifts came from, just straightforwardly invited him to dinner. He says that he wants to see what she's up to. Next, we see him riding a bike and humming to himself. He passes a sleek black Audi which has a man in an ash suit resting on it and smoking a big cigar. The man turns to him and asks if he is waiting for someone. Young man? He asks in return if the man is waiting for someone. The man says that he's here to pick up his goddaughter. We see Zhao looking around to search for our guy. She wears a beautiful white dress and white flats. He says her name in astonishment, oh her beauty. The man tells him to stop looking, young man. He needs to work hard to make money unless all these beauties will all be taken by them uncles. In her mind, Zhao sees Chen coming to her in a suit while riding his bike. She thinks that he's so handsome. The man asks him when will he be able to afford his car. Chen asks Zhao if she is seated and she smiles and says yes. She hugs him tightly from behind. Then he drives off. The man falls to his knees and cries while saying that what's the use of earning so much money. Zhao imagines that she's wearing a white wedding gown while he wears a tux as they seat on his bike and drive off. He tells her that they have arrived, successfully knocking her out of her trance. They stop in front of a restaurant that has a large lobster on it. A waiter tells them that the spicy and garlic-flavored dishes they ordered are here, they should enjoy their meal. Zhao notices Chen's actions and gushes, thinking that even in a simple food stall, he doesn't forget his gentlemanly manners, truly a noble demeanor. Handling people and things with grace, showing courtesy in every move. It's clear he was raised with strict upbringing. Be careful not to get your hands dirty. He cleans his hands first before digging into his meal while wearing gloves. She believes that despite being wealthy, he accompanies her to eat at a roadside stall, surely not wanting to pressure her at all. He really is a gentle and refined person. She imagines him sighting with fork and knife in hand, using it to dine on the lobster. A yellow box pops up and it reads Zhao Yuqi's favorability plus 10 points. He thinks to himself, what the heck, it increased just like that? She opens up a lobster for him and feeds it to him. She calls his name in a loving manner and says he should let her peel the shrimp for him. He opens his mouth and lets her feed him. At the door, Lin walks in with her ex. A red-dressed waitress welcomes them. Lin's eyes widen as she thinks that is she seeing things? Zhao Yuqi is feeding Chen Yuan shrimp? First it was Shu Lele, now Zhao Yuqi, he's really something. Lin turned to her ex and says, Brother Junkai, there are too many people here, they should go somewhere else. Junkai asks if it is too crowded. It's probably just a lot of acquaintances. He just loves eating in crowded places. He puts his hand around her and pulls her into the restaurant. A crowd suddenly covers our guy as it rains money around him. Junkai stands behind him and says, hey, he's Chen Yuan, right? Here's 500 yuan, he should let him have his seat. A guy tells Junkai that big brother he should give him the money and he'll find him another suitable table. Jukai grips the man's collar. Jukai says that adding a table? Is this about adding a table? Then Zhao throws her bag at Junkai, perfectly nosing out his teeth. A big woman appears and curses at Junkai and says that he wears her clothes, drive her car, and now he's even using her money to pick up girls. Our guy admits that he's scared. Junkai nurses his swollen jaw and broken nose as he says Wei Xiaojing, what is she doing here? She yells that she wasn't here, how would she have caught him cheating on her behind her back? Then she insults him. Junkai falls to his knees and begs, saying that Xiaojing, she's misunderstood. How could he possibly cheat on her? Everything he has is from her, how could he possibly betray her? Lin is shocked to hear this. He drags Lin's hair and says she seduced him, and then he insults her gravely. Lin argues that but he claimed it was her that invited him first when he claimed that he was single. He slaps her and continues to insult her. She calls his name with a pained expressing from the floor. He asks what is she looking at if she keeps look, and he proceeds to threaten her. Chen stops Juankai's raised hand and says, hit a woman? Does he want to make himself even more shameful? A yellow box pops up and it reads Lin Shutong's favorability +20. Lin thinks to herself, is it him? Chen Yuan really loves her. The same box pops up 3 more times. Next we see another box that reads second simp target Lin Shutong's favorability breaks through 95 points, congratulations. The host successfully reverses. Second simp target spent a total of 50,000 yuan on simp coins, rewarding the host 5,000 yuan. Another box pops up and it reads Lin Shutong is converted into the host simp, rewarding 20 strengthening points. A yellow box pops up, it reads name, Chen Yuan. Age, 21. Height, 179 centimeters. Weight, 63 kilograms. Strength, 9, physical fitness, 9, mental strength, 10. Agility, 9, perception, 10. Strengthening points, 20. He thinks to himself, strengthen 10 points in strength. 10 points in physical fitness. He rough handles Junkai and Junkai protests and tells him to let go. He picks up a bottle of alcohol and says he's going to kill Chen. Chen says that Junkai is annoying and flips him away. Our guy tells him darkly, Junkai, living off a woman isn't shameful, but hitting a woman while doing so makes him a despicable creature. Junkai glares at our guy and brings out a knife from his pocket. Zhao notices it and tells our hero to be careful. Chen is able to handle Junkai and remove the knife from the latter's hand. Then he flips him. A pearl among grains of rice dares to contend with the sun and moon. The others in the restaurant mutter among themselves that damn, is he that handsome? Ha ha, this is how quickly a face can be slapped. Our guy proceeds to leave the restaurant but is stopped by Lin, who is on the floor. She cries and begs him, saying that she was wrong. She was blind. And can he give her a chance to start over? He grits his teeth and say that the Chen Yuan she's talking about, is it the one who ran more than 10 kilometers to the emergency room at 3 in the morning without her knowing? Or is it the one who saved money for half a year to buy her a phone, but what was rejected because it wasn't the latest model? Or maybe it's the one who, despite knowing her frivolous vanity, always believed that she would come back someday? The Chen Yuan is already dead, she chose it herself. He walks away from her as tears fall from her face. Outside the restaurant, he scratches the back of his head and says sorry President Zhao for the chaos tonight, disturbing her dinner. Tells him that calling her President Zhao is too formal and she should call her Chichi. And she didn't feel disturbed at all, instead she got to see a different side of someone. That she thinks that the more she loses at Chen Yuan, the more intriguing he becomes. That next time he should let her treat him. She has a feeling that he'll bring her countless surprises. A door slams open and we see Lin run into the room dripping in water with a red face, tears, and soaked clothes. A purple-haired girl says, Shutong? Why did she bring an umbrella in such a heavy rain? Lin says, Rui, Chen Yuan, and she cries strongly. Rui says, Chen Yuan? It seems that she's heard about it too. Chen Yuan gave Zhao Yuqi over 10 million during her livestream yesterday. This guy doesn't look like it, but he's actually a rich kid, so wealthy. Why is she completely soaked? She didn't find a place to hide? Lin says over 10 million? Where did she hear that? Is it true? Rui says that Zhao Yuqi's roommate Wu Xiafei said it. It's all over the female dormitory. She swears she knows how rumors spread. Lin's eyes widen as it dawns on her. Then she breaks down in tears. A howling is heard and people ask who is howling like a ghost in the middle of the night. He's watching a horror movie. Oh my god, oh woo, this is too incredible, Yuan's. His roommate says tonight, he's won 18 games in a row. Chen, did he eat raw oyster to this strong? The roommate on glasses says that is he some esports genius secretly playing games with them? Our thinks to himself that he didn't expect that after adding 20 attribute points, even playing games feels so awesome. What a pleasant surprise. He says that what are these guys thinking? He's just in good shape. One of the roommates says that Yuanzi, how about becoming a live streamer? When he starts earning 1 million along he should take him along. Chen says that enough, these guys can play. He's going to take a shower. He thinks that the attribute points have transformed his body. Even his figure has improved. Now he's proudly call himself the Pengyan actor for their university. Isn't that appropriate? He says that's such a perfect body. He wonders which lucky woman will benefit. Someone knock on the door and says Yuan's. Did he fall into the toilet hole? Come out. His phone is ringing. Our guy comes out and see that it is Shu Lele. He wonders why is she calling so late? What new tactics does she have to manipulate him? He picks up the phone and says, hey, Senior Shu Lele, is there something she needs from him? She cries and calls out his name saying that she doesn't know what to do. In another side of town, we see Shu on her knees in a scattered room as she says that she can only ask if he can lend her 500,000 yuan. Shu says that her dad got into a lot of debt because of gambling. We see her dad begging men saying that bro, please give him a little more time. Just 2 more days, he'll definitely reply, by then. Their once prosperous family has fallen into a bottomless pit, dealing with high-interest loans every day. She's not a very materialistic girl, but they have to pay off the debts. Chen tells her to send her account number. She's shocked by his generosity and send it to him. She gets an alert and sees that he sent 5 million instead. She asks how is it 5 million? He tells her that it's okay. He accidentally added an extra 0. Numerous yellow boxes appear and they all read Shu Lele favorability +1. She cries and expresses her gratitude and promises to pay him back. Another yellow box pops up and it reads Shu Lele's current favorability, 94 points. As rain drenches the outside world. He looks at his phone and says 94 points? What's going on? This can't win her? He thinks whether he should just confess? No. The one who reveals their feelings first is often at a disadvantage. The one who confesses first loses. In a small conflict, however changes their stance first, is at a disadvantage. He never moves first, which is the martial arts of war. Next, we see our guy with his roommates out and about. Someone shouts his name, successfully dragging his attention. He turns to see who called, only to see that it is Lin. She holds up a bag and calls his full name and says that she brought steamed buns from the canteen for her. They should go to class together. One of the roommates' jaw drops as he calls her full name and says, what's going on? Did the sun rise from the west? Lin Shutong actually brought breakfast for Chen Yuan. And the voice joins the gathering saying Yuan Gij, she also brought breakfast for him. She guessed that he's tired of the canteen. She specially cooked seafood porridge for him. This second girl is Shu. Shu and Lin glare at each other. Another girl joins the gather and the guys wonder, here comes another one. Chen asks himself, who is it this time? Zhou appears calling his full name and saying that she brought beef noodles for him. Lin wonders, Zhao Yuqi? How did she get here? Both Lin and Shu thinks that this is the aura of the second on the campus beauty list. Such a strong oppressive feeling. Our guy blushes and says how did she know he likes beef noodles? She says that yesterday, when they were eating crayfish, she guessed that she liked spicy food. Coincidentally, she knows a place in Jincha that serves authentic beef noodles. He says that it feels great to be cared for. Thank you, Chichi. He thinks that indeed, President Zhao managed to win without a word by deducing his taste from the details. Zhao says no need to be polite. When delivering breakfast, it's only natural to consider what the other person likes to eat. If they can't think of such small things, how can they say they like someone? She pushes a box into his hand and says, by the way, here's a gift for him, expressing his gratitude. He says that is this, the newly released Icon is Pro Max? Lin says that President Zhao is actually giving him a gift, while Shu says that it's the latest model of the phone. Seeing him receive gifts, it's more painful than losing a biological father. The two women think that it's worth over 10,000 yuan. She's actually so generous. Chen scratches the back of his head nervously as he says, oh, no need to spend so much. But he's spent more on her. She doesn't have much money on her. It's the thought that counts. He says then he'll accept it. Lin frowns as she sees the two of them walk away together. She asks, is it so difficult to win back Chen Yuan? Just a few days, and now there's another Zhao Yuqi. Shu tilts her head and says that she's Lin Shutong, right? They should find a place to talk. Lin flares up and says, talk about what? What does she have to talk about with her? It's all because of her. Shu says of course, they should talk about alliance. Lin says that Shu should go away and not come near her. Lin asks what alliance? Form an alliance to confront their common enemy, Zhao Iqui. We see our guy holding a phone as he thinks that Zhao Yuqi is quite generous, actually giving him such an expensive phone, worth over 10,000 yuan. Zhao sees him using the phone and asks what's wrong? Is there something wrong with the phone? He says no, and it's working fine. A yellow box pops up and it read current favorability with bound target Zhao Yuqi, 40. He thinks that if it weren't for the pitiful 40 favorability points, he would almost think she's fallen for him. Truly a goddess with sophisticated methods making their prey think it's the hunter. Looks like he needs to figure out a way to quickly push the progress a bit further. His phone beeps and he sees that Xiaoma has texted him. She says that brother Yuan, the last time he mentioned the meeting, it wasn't impossible, just that she's a little bit afraid of society. It doesn't mean that she doesn't want to meet with him. He thinks that is this an apology? Without sending at least 2 pictures, does she really think that is that easy? A message from Dragon King pops up and it reads, hello brother Yang, he is Xiaomi's top-ranked Dragon King. He has a group consisting of top-ranked anchors, is he interested in joining? He thinks if this is the legendary anchor group, the group is excited for him to be in their midst. He thinks that hey, it seems these wealthy individuals want to test his mettle. Will he play along with them? He says that he can't talk about taking care of them. If they can help him, add him a D=friend to chat privately. Qingfeng messages him saying that he has a villa that he's planning to sell, but he doesn't know if Mr. Lonely Cigarette is interested in it. Chen replies what position and Qingfeng replies that he is sending the location. He thinks that Jiangkou district is a well-known wealthy area, a villa costs at least tens of millions. Our guy replies that okay, he just plans to buy a villa to store sundries. He will go to see the house tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. We see a bald man who says what the heck? It seems this guy is really considering buying, could they have guessed wrong? Dragon King, he's not a fraud, he really has money. Another man sips tea and says whether it's real or fake, they'll find out soon enough. Even if they guessed wrong, making friends who casually spends tens of millions has its benefits. They should send the address and we'll find out more about him. Chen gets the address to the villa. He wonders how much favorability he would gain if he gave her a villa. Zhao says that why did he bring her here so mysteriously? They walk side by side from a taxi. They approach a big house with a man and woman standing in front of it. The bald man says, Agu, this must be Mr. Smoke, sorry to bother him. Chen says that the man is welcome. The man thinks that the Smoky looks ordinary, but he's accompanied by a woman who's a real beauty. Could it be that he is a son of a hidden family? It seems that the price today is difficult to negotiate. The man says that his name is Hong Yuan Chiao. He has a small business, but recently he had to sell his villa due to financial problems. Please come in. Mr. Smokey, please take a look. The entire villa has a construction area of 500 square meters. The usable area is 2,000 square meters. The decoration is designed by famous designers and the whole house is customized with imported Italian furniture. Look here again, the river is surging, dragons and tigers are roosting, the feng shui is excellent. If he weren't short of money, he would have wanted to bury himself here. Zhao thinks, is Chen Yuan buying a house? This kind of mansion must cost millions of dollars. Chen says okay, this place is good. He should waste him time and quickly tell him the price. The bald man says that Mr. Smoke, he's not going to lie, although he is in need of money, but before he came here, there are several people who are very interested in this place. He thinks that his psychological price for this house is 50 million, so he has to leave some room for some bargaining. So he'll quote a higher price. He tells our guy that he will give him an average price, $60 million. Okay, Chen sighs, and the man thinks, did he overestimation it? It's hard to fool a nobleman's son. Our guy says that 60 million is okay. The woman who accompanies the bald man thinks that what's going on, someone actually said that it's cheap. The bald man swears in his head and wishes he called a higher price. Chen turns to Zhao and asks her if she thinks that they should buy this house. She says he's asking her, but she doesn't care if he buys it or not. He says that this house is bao for her. The bald man thinks that giving away 60 million to others is such a huge amount of financial resources and courage. Damn, what he just didn't offend this man. Zhao says 60 million? Give her? She thinks that no matter how rich and generous Chen Yuan is, he should have some restraint. This is too exaggerated. 60 million? Not 60 yuan. She shrieks in horror. Drop a comment if you want to see a part 2. See you next time.